EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the U.S. Open Championship. Coming down the stretch here at the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay, just 6 holes to play, and Frank, this par 4 13th will really test the players.
It is. If someone makes 3 here down the stretch, it will be monumental. A 4 here, no one would leave this hole unhappy.
Good contact, good result. Frank, you've been there so many times. Is it fair to say that a U.S. Open is as much a psychological test as it is a physical test?
I think that's a great way to put it, Rich. It really is. People know that you're not going to get instant gratification at a U.S. Open. You're going to sort of get hit more than you'd like, especially come the end of the week. But also in the back of your mind, you realise that's the way you should be tested, maybe once a year. That's all, and that often determines the best player in the game.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Okay, 20 feet, not too bad.
Even par currently.
Did a nice job with that putt. Good read, good speed. Settles in over the putt. Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
So that's a bogey, and now to 1 over par for the tournament. Frank, a 5th consecutive par 4 here at the U.S. Open. This is the 14th hole, and I'm guessing by the time you set foot on this tee, you'll know exactly where your game is at.
Oh, this one here, great reward for someone that's driving the ball well. If you can drive it, down the left middle, avoid that little one-pot bunker in the middle of the fairway, you're going to certainly shorten this hole up. And then you can start to use the contours of this hole too, that bend right to left. And 546 yards becomes much shorter than what you would think.
Good tee shot right in the fairway and plenty long. Now playing the 2nd here at the par 4. Here we go. She is putting the full arsenal of her skill set on display this afternoon. Beautiful shot. You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy, featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. 167 yards on this hole. It's the 15th at the U.S. Open. Nice little par 3.
Oh, fun hole. Well bunkered with that. Once again, a bunker on a dominant side of the green. This time the right side, and one little pokey bunker there on the left side. Green's big enough. A few little contours on this green. Magnificent view, of course, but it's fun to have a hole that's not overly long.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Eyeing this putt for a birdie. That's an important birdie right there, into the top 5 on this leaderboard.
Well, there's so much at stake this week, Rich.
Getting set to take on the finishing holes here at Chambers Bay. How do you do it in the right way, Frank?
Well, when you look down this fairway, obviously everything slopes left to right. That makes this hole actually play a little bit more of a dogleg to the right, even though it doesn't look it. And then, of course, that green up ahead, it's like a tabletop. So precision here is absolutely paramount.
This is when the game is fun, Frank, when you get one high in the air and you have a down breeze and you just watch it stays in the air forever.
Look at the hang time on that.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. It's a pretty good shot. That ball settles in about 13 feet away.
You'd like to think unlucky for some, but birdie putt coming up.
Oh my gosh, that hurts. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. Did the job right there. Pressure's beginning to rise here. 17th hole of the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay. And this one, Frank, the par 3 will require a really good shot.
It's amazing how many U.S. Opens have great 17th hole. I think of Winged Foot, par 3, 17th, even Marion, par 3. This one will certainly fit in the same vein. It's named Derailed, and it will derail many a player trying to win a U.S. Open.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Just 5 feet left. Now has a tie for the lead with that birdie.
And a pep in the stride.
Now to the 18th hole. Frank, everyone wants to finish in style.
Yeah, the home hole here, once again you head back to just a wonderful view, and you realize that Chambers Bay was designed as a walk-in golf course, and it was designed to have fun and test every department in your game. 18 will do that. It probably gives you more trouble on both sides of the hole than any other hole on the golf course. That club must have melted after that one.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. Lay down. Well, she just played a wonderful shot from back there. Getting set now over the putt. I don't know if that was a misread or what, Frank, but that one hurts.
Yeah, she's certainly going to have to pick up her socks after that.
Impressive. Moves to 3 under for the tournament with that birdie. Frank, you surprised to see that name on top of the leaderboard?
I am surprised to see the name, but not that style of golf leading. It was great performance, especially tee to green. You don't often see people start that quickly.
EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live second round coverage of the U.S. Open Championship.
There's something about a well-hit shot.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
There are a number of really good and important grow the game initiatives out there. One of those is the First Tee program, and that allows youngsters who otherwise might not have an opportunity, the chance to put a golf club in their hands, allows them the chance to pick up this game and learn some of the core values that come along with it. It's about much more than making a score. It's about integrity. It is about responsibility, values like that. And this game is just so good in instilling those kind of characteristics in young people. Well, Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You've hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. What a shot.
What are the chances of making it from there?
Coverage on EA Sports continuing. We're at the 14th hole, and that's where we find our featured golfer. Sitting comfortably inside the cut line, it would appear the steady play will be enough to secure a spot in this weekend's action. outstanding tee shot.
Yeah, ball's sitting up. You don't have to worry about the wind or anything there. You just take a full-blooded cut at the second shot from here. Should be safely on deck.
Frank, how about that?
Well, can you believe that, too? I mean, could have hit the flag and bounced away instead. Straight in. Amazing shot. And really deserves it.
All right, on to the 15th. Hey, Frank, what is that thing over there? I haven't seen one in a while.
It's a tree. That's right.
A tree?
Trees do exist at Chambers Bay. So do short par threes. Well, in a US Open, they'll have it around 250 yards. But this is a fun hole. This is it's sort of in a weird way, it's a risk-reward par three. A good tee shot here, you can easily walk off with two. Get a little casual off there, then there is a huge bunker that just wraps around the right side of the screen.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Well, that's a bit disappointing.
I guarantee you, though, she thought she had that one.
Par here's fine, isn't it, Frank? Now to the three-hole finishing stretch here at Chambers Bay, and we get it started with a relatively short par four. It's a 423-yard hole, the 16th, Frank.
Bend slightly to the right. There's a huge bunker all the way down the right side that sort of starts, I don't know, maybe about 100 yards off the tee, goes all the way to the green. You go right, and then you realize why this hole is called Beach.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there. This looks like it's going to find the target.
That will be a great look at birdie. These putts keep the round together. In the hole. And a birdie. Just 2 holes left to play. Now a par 3, the 17th, 218 yards, and all sorts of trouble, Frank, down that right.
Well, if you weren't beached at the 16th, then there's a chance you can be derailed, which is what this hole's called, at 17. Difficult par 3. You can see the bunker there in front, and once again, wind conditions. This is going to probably require one of the best tee shots, especially in the closing stages of the US Open.
Well played here, went straight for the flagstick, and she will have a nice putt coming up. This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
You love to watch him disappear, don't you? And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. Missed the fairway in the fairway bunker now.
It's not all gloom and doom, though. Lip isn't too high. A good swing here still shouldn't be a problem.
Given the choice, most players would rather play from the green grass versus the white sand.
Yeah, there was no advantage to try and take that much more out of that fairway bunker. Couldn't reach the green. It's a smart play.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. So a tester from 4 feet. Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. There you have it. The second round is complete. Another solid effort put together, and it shows on the scorecard.
And after 2 rounds, you really start to see not only who's playing well, but who's consistent.
EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the United States Open Championship.
Well, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super.
So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got away a little bit on that tee ball. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Birdie try up next. Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet.
We often say, Rich, you should always try and make it. I got to disagree with that. Lag putting, it's just about taking the strain off the next one. There's always other holes to be played.
From that distance, you settle for 2 putts. They'll take it. That's a par. Now to the second par 5 of the round here at Chambers Bay and the U.S. Open. It's a long one.
Yeah, it's a beast. You miss this fairway, you could be hitting all day long, and of course that's going to rack up a fairly healthy score. Meanwhile, hit the fairway there. Only the longest hitters will reach this par 5 and 2. But still a good chance, even with a wedge, to make a birdie because the green slopes back to the player.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. And setting up here in the rough. How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a masterclass in short game.
And getting ready for the putt. Putting up some impressive numbers out here now. 9 under for the tournament. Rich Lerner and Frank Nobilo back with you here at Chambers Bay in the U.S. Open. Now to the 9th hole, closing out this front side.
Well, it just goes to show the tremendous variety that the designer Robert Trent Jones II has done here. We've seen already a tremendous variation, and then this sort of just goes on top of it. Elevated tee, goes down to a green that just slopes a little bit to the right, well bunkered on the right.
Good looking shot right here. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round.
Rich, that just adds insult to injury to the rest of the field. Another birdie, and the gap even wider.
A sensational performance. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
All right, Frank, what's the best way to approach the 10th?
This is probably the flattest green on the golf course, Rich, and really, if you miss this green, you've made a mistake. There's no two ways about it. It's probably the most predictable second shot you're going to have on the golf course.
Boy, I'm reminded of what an old caddy used to say about the great Lanny Watkins when he was on fire. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Those keep the round going, those par putts. Now on to the 11th, and Frank, we are looking at a long par 4 in front of us.
We are indeed, and it's called shadows, but there is love in the shadows here. Hit it over that dune down there in the middle of the fairway. If you can get it there around the 300-plus yard mark, then the hole obviously starts to get a little easier. That second shot, you'd like to hit a little bit of a cut in here, but there's 2 levels to this green, so make sure you're on the right level where that flag is.
What a drive. Just tattooed that. The 11th hole, Frank, what's the right way to get at it?
Just got to be cognizant of that ridge that cuts through the middle of this green, that sort of turns this green into one simple green into all these little complex sort of sections. That's the biggest thing, but that's also, you realize very, very quickly, you're playing links golf today.
Appears to be tracking well. Early part of this back 9 and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Just misses.
You want to know the difference between good scores and average scores? That.
Right there. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
Well, good solid stroke there, no sign of nerves on that.
There you have it. Round 3 is finished, and it was a good one, Frank.
Yeah, after 3 rounds in, you really could start to see who could take home the trophy when it's all said and done. Great play, though, up until this point. Round 4 should be an absolute thriller.
EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live final round coverage of the United States Open Championship.
There's something about a well-hit shot.
She had a good shot off the tee, and now she has all sorts of options available. Let's see what she does here. Frank, it appears as though this approach shot here at the 10th is fairly straightforward.
It is. You've got a flat green, so you're not really worrying about mounds or bounces here. And really, this is, with a short iron in hand, this is one of those ones you just green light, you go straight at the flag here.
Good swing, good shot yet again. This has been just a pure display of ball striking all day long. Has not missed a single green, every one in regulation.
really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament. Well, here we are at the 11th. Frank, this is a brutally long par 4.
And a little bit blind, too. There's that big dune in the middle of the fairway, and it's sort of a bit daunting. You're not quite sure what's behind that. Well, what is behind that is actually fairway. And just carry it over there. That'll certainly shorten the hole up. And then from there, it's a little bit of a dogleg to the right. Well, par 4s, they're not all the same, Rich, but after that tee shot, I guess you can say this one's going to be easy.
That was a beauty right there. The 11th hole. Frank, what's ahead here?
This is another green that's sort of sloped. There's a lot of little slopes in this green here, plus the green angles from right to left. So it just depends on whether that second shot that lands. You've got to be well aware of what you're landing on. If you're landing on a downslope, it's going to kick forward. Obviously, on an upslope, it's going to stop that much quicker.
Get down! Lay down! Early part of this second nine, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus.
It's amazing. Doesn't matter how close it goes. It's an extra shot. That one will definitely hurt.
Par here's fine, isn't it, Frank? Frank, we just came off that long par 4 at the 11th, well over 500 yards. Now at the 12th, we go in the opposite direction. This has become a staple at a U.S. Open, the reachable par 4.
Yeah, the logic would say just grab sort of a mid-iron to a long iron, knock it down, wedge it on there, and have no strain, no sweat. But who's going to take off like that? Take the head cover off. Come on, chance. It's called narrows. The odds are going to be narrowed, but you just might hit the green.
I mean, that is a sight to behold. What a spectacular shot we just saw on the par 4 with a drive in one. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part.
Great sense of speed in that. You know you can make those, but that one right in the middle.
Coming down the stretch here at the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay, just 6 holes to play. And Frank, this par 4 13th will really test the players.
It is. If someone makes 3 here down the stretch, it will be monumental. A 4 here, no one would leave this hole unhappy.
But this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it.
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole. Frank, what's the best way to get at the 13th here?
Avoid those ridges left and right, or the mounds, should I say. That bunker that's well placed in the front of the green, obviously you've got to carry that, but this one you've really got to keep it in line with the middle of the green.
Well, this could be good. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Can't birdie them all, Rich.
Clean this up with a tap. Did the job right there. Frank, a fifth consecutive par 4 here at the U.S. Open. This is the 14th hole, and I'm guessing by the time you set foot on this tee, you'll know exactly where your game is at.
Oh, this one here, great reward for someone that's driving the ball well. If you can drive it down the left middle, avoid that little one-pot bunker in the middle of the fairway, you're going to certainly shorten this hole up. And then you can start to use the contours of this hole too, that bend right to left. And 546 yards becomes much shorter than what you would think. That club must have melted after that one.
All right, Frank, what's the play into the green here?
Well, the green's got a little bit of a funnel effect. General contours slope right to left, and towards this green there is a little bit of a ridge and some mounding, short right. But just use those in your favour. The ball's going to do what Mother Nature wants it to do. You don't have to fight it.
Oh, get down! Look out!
It's over. The green.
That will be a great look at birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here. Oh, that hurts. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Par bid here. Good effort and good par putt. All right, on to the 15th. Hey, Frank, what is that thing over there? I haven't seen one in a while.
It's a tree. That's right.
A tree?
Trees do exist at Chambers Bay. So do short par threes. Well, in a US Open, they'll have it around 250 yards, but this is a fun hole. This is it's sort of in a weird way, it's a risk-reward par 3. A good tee shot here, you can easily walk off with 2. Get a little casual off there, then there is a huge bunker that just wraps around the right side of the screen.
She is putting the full arsenal of her skill set on display this afternoon. Beautiful shot.
Well, you can't make them all. You'd like to, but you can't. Locked in on the read and the speed. Just drip that in.
Well, it's 4 1/4 inches. Use it all.
Now to the par 4, 423 yards, 16th hole. What's the right play, Frank?
Fairway first. Once again, you'll see the slope of the fairway from the left to the right side. It means move your aim down that left side. It'll make this fairway appear that much bigger. And of course, then when you hit into this green, you're really going to have to flight that second shot properly. This is like a tabletop green.
Ideal position, sitting up perfectly. Frank, what's the danger here on the approach to the 16th, considering the green is really pretty small?
Well, obviously it's a short par 4, so you know that the problem's going to happen up ahead, and that's exactly what it does. This is probably one of the smallest, narrowest greens at Chambers Bay, And you can see it slopes dramatically from left to right. That has to be taken into consideration with the second shot.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. Pressure's beginning to rise here. 17th hole of the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay. And this one, Frank, the par 3 will require a really good shot.
It's amazing how many U.S. Opens have great 17th hole. I think of Winged Foot, par 3, 17th, even Marion, par 3. This one will certainly fit in the same vein. It's named Derailed, and it will derail many a player trying to win a U.S. Open.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
This will be a birdie if it drops.
Great, too.
Beautiful. Now to the 18th hole. Frank, everyone wants to finish in style.
Yeah, the home hole here, once again you head back to just a wonderful view, and you realise that Chambers Bay was designed as a walking golf course, and it was designed to have fun and test every department in your game. 18 will do that. It probably gives you more trouble on both sides of the hole than any other hole on the golf course.
That is massive off the tee.
Meters, yards, I don't care how you measure that. That's got to be, what, 300 metres, 325 yards, something like that.
Frank, you want to finish with one good swing here, the approach shot to the 18th hole.
I don't think there's a flat putt on this green, Rich. There's so many different sections. We said the course was like a maze. This 18th green can be like a maze. If you're on the right portion, then obviously that certainly helps. But there's so many different levels to this green.
That is a really good shot landing close to the flagstick. They don't come much bigger than this right here to win the U.S. Open. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Just a tremendous week of golf, and that, my friend, is a winner right there.
Yeah, and he should be proud of himself, too. It took golf of the highest quality to beat this high-quality field, and that is something that you will remember for a long, long time.